I'm here to bring you the latest news and updates about climate change. A recent study published in the Journal of Environmental Management has found that non-carbon dioxide greenhouse gases such as methane and nitrous oxide also significantly contribute to global warming and climate change. The study's authors analyzed the source and impacts of these gases, as well as potential mitigation strategies to reduce their emissions. In other news, a video by Wian has explained that the increasing concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has intensified the greenhouse effect, resulting in rising global temperatures. This, in turn, has caused sea levels to rise, more frequent and severe weather events, and other adverse impacts on the environment and human societies. This video has also provided an overview of the scientific evidence and research of climate change, highlighting the role of greenhouse gases and human activity. Additionally, climate reality video, Climate Change is Happening Right Now, has underscored the current and project impacts of climate change on various aspects of society and the environment based on research findings. As of science video, the simplest way to explain climate change has provided a simple explanation of the basic science behind climate change, including the role of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases based on scientific research. It is critical to understand and address the source and impacts of greenhouse gases to mitigate the effects of climate change, as it continues to have significant consequences for our planet and society. Stay tuned for more news and updates. This is John Prichel Arcas reporting.
Climate change is affecting vegetation and land animals with changes in the blooming and bearing seasons of plants and habitats of animals. The WMO warns that temperatures may rise by 3 to 5 degrees Celsius by the end of the century if the current warming trend continues. A study conducted by the group of university researchers and NASA has revealed that the melting of Antarctic ice shelves is primarily caused by the ocean waters underneath them, leading to a loss of around 148 billion metric tons of ice per year. The effects of ecosystems are significant, with coral reefs, mountains, and the Arctic being areas where immediate changes are leading to species displacement or even extinction. Climate change poses a range of threats to people: water scarcity, flooding, infectious diseases, extreme heat, economic losses, and displacement. The consequences have prompted the World Health Organization to label climate change as the most significant hazard to global health in the 21st century. Despite successful attempts to reduce future warming, certain consequences such as elevated ocean temperatures, ocean acidification, and rising sea levels will persist for centuries. Additionally, the shift in temperature has forced various species to migrate towards higher altitudes and closer to the poles. The enlargement of the arid climate zones, like extension of subtropical deserts, is one of the consequences of climate change. Due to the vast and swift impact of global warming, sudden transformations in ecosystem are more probable. Ultimately, it is anticipated that numerous species will face extinction as a result of climate change. Climate change has resulted in a more frequent occurrence of oceanic heat waves causing detrimental impacts on various organisms like corals, kelp, and seabirds. Organisms that construct shells and skeletons are affected by ocean acidification. Coral reefs have been extensively bleached following heat waves. It is expected that the world's climate will continue to transform throughout the rest of the century and beyond. Since the early 1980s, the strength, occurrence, and duration of the most potent hurricanes have all increased.
The video shows a clear increase in global temperature anomalies throughout the time, with the most recent years showing the highest anomalies on record. Human activities such as the use of fossil fuel, deforestation, and agriculture are significantly liable for the rise in global temperature. The increased concentration in greenhouse gases in the atmosphere traps more heat that causes the Earth's global temperature to rise. In this video, it shows the amount of carbon dioxide started rising as industrialization progressed due to the use of fossil fuels such as coal and oil. Nowadays, traffic in cities, vehicles, and airplanes emit massive amounts of carbon dioxide. Furthermore, a significant portion of the energy we use is generated by fossil fuel. By leaving the lights or any electrical gadgets on, you are releasing more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. The video took place on the Faroe Islands, which are located in the North Atlantic between Iceland and Norway, and have a maritime climate defined by warm temperature, high humidity, and regular rainfall. Because the islands are exposed to the severe North Atlantic weather patterns, the weather is very unpredictable and may change unexpectedly. I am Roswell Acabo. I hope you learned something from the informations I have given. Thank you.
A carbon footprint is a simple way to express that impact. The size of your footprint depends on multiple factors. The primary one is the amount of greenhouse gas emissions released into the atmosphere by a given activity. People, products, and entire industries have carbon footprints. Your personal footprint includes emission from a variety of sources: your daily commute, the food you eat, the clothes you buy, everything you throw away, and more. The larger your footprint, the heavier the strain on the environment. To halt climate breakdown and avoid its worst impacts, we need to do two things: shift to a low-carbon economy and protect our best natural allies in the fight against climate change: forests, grasslands, mangroves, and tidal marshes, which stash away large quantities of carbon. Drastically cutting greenhouse gas emissions will require everyone from individuals to industries to countries to vastly reduce their carbon footprint. Here's the information and practical steps you'll need to get started. Ways to avoid carbon emission. When possible, walk or ride your bike in order to avoid carbon emissions completely. Drive a low-carbon vehicle. Speeding and unnecessary acceleration reduce mileage by up to 33%, waste gas and money, and increase your carbon footprint. Combine errands to make fewer trips. Remove excess weight from your car. Use cruise control. Make energy efficiency a primary consideration when choosing a new furnace, air conditioning unit, dishwasher, or refrigerator. Turn off lights you're not using and when you leave the room. Replace incandescent light bulbs with compact fluorescent or LED ones. Add solar panels to the roof of your home. These cost a little more than the above options, but many providers offer financing options which minimize upfront costs. Eat locally produced and organic food. Transporting food requires petroleum-based fuels, and many fertilizers are also fossil fuel-based, which contribute to carbon footprint. Lower the amount of energy used to pump, treat, and heat water by washing your car less often. Using climate-appropriate plants in your garden. installing drip irrigation so that plants receive only what they need, and making water efficient choices when purchasing shower heads, faucet heads, toilets, dishwashers, and washing machines. Reuse and recycle. Support clean energy sources.
Let us continue to create positive change in our communities and in the world. Remember that every small act of kindness and every effort to make a difference counts, no matter how big or small. Let us all commit to being agents of change and work towards a better future for all.